What is going on with y'all? My name is Paul, and welcome back to a new episode of the Undiscovered Artist segment. With me today is a little different. We got a group, not just an individual group. It's an R&B group based out of Waco/Austin, Texas. Really just the whole Texas area. And they go by the name Smooth Nature. Let's go ahead and give their own introduction and see what they're about.
Well, hello, y'all. Appreciate you for having us, first
of course.
My name is Marvin. I'm the lead singer / manager of Smooth Nature.
Get in and know you, that is all I'm trying to do, but I'm behind my keys.
So my name is Diarian. I am the guitarist and also a vocalist for Smooth Nature.
What's good, y'all? I am Gerald, aka Saxy G. Play the saxophone. I'm a writer and I sing a little bit too.
Cool. Now you said saxophone. That's a blow instrument. Did you get started with saxophone during high school in band or?
Yeah, I actually started playing in middle school in 7th grade, and it's funny because I almost didn't do it, but I joined band because I had a friend that was going to do it. He didn't even do it. But I was like, I'm going to stick it out. And I chose the saxophone just because I liked the way it sounded. Plus, it was shiny. So that was one of the main things that drew me to the instrument.
I'm not sure if you watch Simpsons, but what's her name? Maggie?
Lisa.
Lisa
Simpson.
That's her instrument. But R&B group, right? So, guys, we got 3 individuals here that all play their own instruments. How'd you guys get started? Who was the mind's master behind it? Were you guys friends in the past? How'd this all get thrown together?
Oh man, so me, Marvin, and Diarian over here, us two are brothers. And during COVID, right before COVID started, I had bought a little piano and a little guitar. It started with the guitar, but at some point the dog we had broke the guitar, so I was like, damn, well, I didn't even have fun playing the guitar. So I'm going to just go get a piano as well. But Diarian loved playing the guitar, so he ended up buying one for himself after I got that one fixed. And I started playing the piano. And so during COVID, what started it for me was I spent the whole month of April watching Naruto.
Oh, yeah.
Every episode. Oh. And when I finished, though, I was like, dude, I got to do something with my life. I can't do that again. And so I started playing the piano. And then a few months later, I got this amazing girl in my life.
Okay.
And as I was doing things, started writing music. I just wanted to do it for myself, but she was like, you're kind of good at it. And then the next year comes around in 2021, and a friend tells me about an open mic. My girl persuades me to go to that open mic. And that's when I met Gerald over here. And then I was like, dude, all this is in Waco. We got to do a little more if there's these talented people. So that's when things started sparking in my head in 2021. We could do more than this, right? So literally the next day we go meet at a coffee shop with a couple other guys in the area over here. And then about a week later, I think we had our first live show. A few weeks after that, we had our second live show. And then May was the first time we had used the name Smooth Nature, but we didn't use that name again for a while. And, of course, began it seriously in 2023.
So were you just, when you were performing at these open mics or when y'all were together at Smooth Nature when it first started, did y'all perform covers or y'all already coming out with, originals at that point?
No, they were original songs. I think we did a cover or 2 here and there, but they were all, no matter how good or bad, they were our songs.
Cool. And, Gerald, what were you doing at that open mic?
Man, it's funny because I started doing open mic. I started, doing comedy, stand-up and everything. I used to write skits and stuff like that, sketches or whatever, online. And then I was like, man, I was still trying to figure out what to do. And so I remember I still had my saxophone that I used to play back in middle school. So I brought that out, got up on stage, playing this feels natural. And so from that was in 2019, the fall of 2019. And so basically I would just show up to every open mic just playing the saxophone. And then eventually, Marvin had pulled up and everything. I was and then he came up and talked to us after that night. And then we met up with some more people in the music and everything. Darian came, and then we just kind of went from there.
That's cool. I mean, I know a lot of people, including me, I've been persuaded of this, that sometimes open mics can be a waste of time, but it can't be a waste of time if it created an R&B group called Smooth Nature that's performing. Y'all have your own professional website, and y'all are performing all over Texas. So
It just honestly depends on like what's your purpose of going to an open mic. And so with me, whenever I was trying to figure out what to do with my life, I was like, I don't know what this is gonna bring, but I feel like being in this room, going to these open mics and like showing up Monday after Monday was gonna do something. I didn't know what, but I knew it was gonna do something. And so eventually that's something that, you know, came to life, you know what I mean?
For real.
Yeah, you know, I just saw this, y'all know Kai Cenat, right?
Yeah.
Who doesn't know Kai Cenat right now? I just saw his stream he did with Lil Dicky. You guys familiar with Lil Dicky?
Yeah.
And Lil Dicky was talking about how, like, he wasn't doing anything with his life, and people thought he was crazy, and he said something that really got to me. He said, like, 1% of people have talent, right? And then 0.01% of those people actually go for their talents and pursue that dream, even though everyone thinks they're crazy. So, like, that says something, you know what I'm saying?
No,
so
I'm telling you, one thing I always say is, like, you could give everybody in the world all the tools and the money and the connections needed to achieve a thing, and majority of them wouldn't, you know, because it does take a lot. And of course there's factors that get in people's way and things they have going on in life that they have to prioritize, so it's all understandable. But at some point, you know, it's all up to you and what you choose to do with what you have, you know.
That's cool, yeah, for sure. How'd you guys come up with the name Smooth Nature?
There was literally, we just had a show in May of 2021, and they were like, we need something to put on the flyer, and we were like, how about Smooth Nature?
Oh, just on the spot.
It was they hated the name, but eventually it caught on, and here we are now, so it's good.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely sounds like it's an R&B group, right? So Smooth Nature, it definitely does make sense. Let's go ahead and talk about y'all's music. Like, how long have y'all been performing together? I know y'all said that y'all started going to open mics, 2020, 2019-ish. When was the moment y'all were like, okay, we're actually an official group, besides just performing together a little bit here and there?
We can bounce off this one. So the open mics were just in 2020, and there was a few in 2021. I mean, that's when it started, was in 2021. But late 2021 is when we started performing as a band. And then going into 2022, there was a big gap in that, because we had found somebody who was helping with some things. Mainly they just wanted us to like get some original songs made that y'all can perform consistently and put them out on streaming services. So we did, and at the end of 2022 is when we released the first song, and in 2023 we released some other ones, but 2023 was when we started our professional journey in it.
And what was that first song?
What was it? No More? It was No More, yeah.
Over and over, argue which of us has lost more, but I can't keep coming back to you.
There's No More.
Cool. And that's on all platforms?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah,
cool.
There's plenty out on all platforms.
All right.
But that's what started the journey.
And man, like you said, 2022 was that first year where we were trying to, as you said, make original music that, first and foremost, that we like. I think that's a big thing about music is, man, if you're making music that you don't like, people can kind of tell when you're up on stage and they're not feeling it, you know, and you're not feeling it. But you know, that 2022, we, like after we made those songs around like what is it called, October, we had played our first show after that, and it went well. I don't think we played any of the shows after that in 2022, and me and Marvin, we had went to a Black Odyssey show at Firehouse Lounge in Austin, and we had, of course, saw Black Odyssey. We saw a great artist named Grace Sorensen. He pulled Rhapsody up on stage, which was awesome.
Oh, cool.
And like that night was like, of course for him, was like, man, we gotta really do this. But for me too, I was like, man, this is low key cool. I was like, I've seen Rhapsody in so many songs, but never. She right there, you know. I was like, she was up there freestyling, handing the mic, giving hop. I was like, man, this is crazy. And 2023, you know, is lo and behold the first place that gives us our opportunity in Austin to actually play is Firehouse Lounge. So it was really nice to be able to, you know, enter where we saw that we wanted to really go out here and have a place that we can go play music and try our music out, because that's the key thing. I guess
one important thing to say off that, 2022 was that year, because as you were saying, some people think open mics are a waste of time. They can be at a certain point, but they're still a great place to meet people and so on, get your feet wet, get used to what you're doing. But 2022 was the year we started changing our way of thinking between just doing music and doing music, you know, and
pursuing it for money. Yeah. Well, not for money, but like as a career. You want to live off it eventually.
Seeing just all that it took behind that, because of course we thought like, oh, let's just get on stage and make songs, but it was so much more than that when it started working. And so that full year was just us like, how can we do this at a larger scale and smarter and better? And of course, there's still been a lot of learning, but 2023 in February was when things really changed. And because of that friend of ours, Grace Sorensen, that we saw that night, I sent her a whole list of questions that she was super willing to answer. And that's what guided us on our path through Austin and then eventually all of Texas. And
sweet.
It's been cool.
And just to give some like names of locations, like what are some locations you guys have performed at so far?
Go ahead, Gerald.
He said the best.
Not him. I'm
playing. I would say, well, of course, our first place was a Firehouse, and then we played we played at this music festival. We at a place called Far Out Lounge. We played at a.
Where's that at? Far Out Lounge.
It's like South Austin. Still in, it's Austin. Just South Austin. We've played at Club Dada. Played up there in Dallas, and then we've also played at we performed with So Far Sounds, and they put on a whole bunch of intimate shows across the world and everything. And so we played at, and they have like their venues are like kind of like the ones you wouldn't normally expect. Like we played in a kids museum, like a science kids museum. It was really dope. We played at a place called The Lawn, and we played at a place called Sea Boys, and they're like on the same street, all in Austin. And where else?
Don't forget Beyonce's church.
Beyonce's church. That was in Houston. That was really dope.
That's really cool.
That was really cool to be on the same stage in the same space that she, went to. Central Machine Works, Busy Signal down in Austin.
There's a lot. I just want to say we did what, 50, 60 shows just in 2023. There was a lot.
Yeah, and speaking like since you already spoke about Beyonce and the church thing, that reminds me of y'all's music. I feel like R&B nowadays is kind of swinging in a certain way that's kind of more directed towards hip hop and more explicit. But then when I listen to your guys' music, it's less explicit. It's more of that old soul. Yeah. So like R&B is more like rhythm. And blues, and y'all are more like rhythm, blues, and blues. You know what I mean? Yeah, so could y'all explain y'all's thought process and doing that instead of just following the train of talking about the same thing that everyone else is talking about?
I'll say my piece real quick because I want to hear theirs. But, our main thing is, number one, just making what we feel. We don't really try to be like, oh, who's making this and what's popular right now? I just want to make what song feels good to me, and same with them. And then the other thing is also we really want to spread the message of love and healing and growing because there's a lot of toxicity and everything, which that's music has its time and place. But whether we're talking about love, whether we're talking about heartbreak or life, it's like how can we uplift and grow and, motivate people with that music.
I mean, I feel like in R&B is one of those genres that I feel like if you're a performer or if you're someone that is an artist in that genre, you have to be philosophical in a way. Especially with that blues and that soulfulness of it.
I never thought of that like that. I like
that.
Yeah. Continue what Marvin said. Music is so important. Not just from the basic of like what you're saying. People listen at the end of the day. Especially kids. Kids listen. Music is internalized. It becomes us. We become the music. And so just knowing that it's like at the end of the day as a musician, you really do have some power that can really either take people in a good direction or take people in a bad direction. And I know that me being a 23-year-old man, it's like, hey, at the end of the day, there's this world is real crazy. So I'm like, I want to make sure that we are portraying what it's like to be not only a good person but a good man. How to love. It's like loving has just been so degraded in society in today's world that most people don't even know how to start loving.
I think the biggest deal now is the difference between lust and love, right? And you can see it in R&B now. Like it's more lust and love than what they're talking about. So you guys are on the right track. Guys, since we're already on the topic of love, we can't leave love. Let's talk about y'all's love life. Since y'all do make music in that field, I know you got a woman that it seems like it's serious.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you plan on getting your fiance?
I can't actually say that on this because she might see it, but In time.
Soon. Okay.
That's all I'll say. But yeah, you know, like we all have. This is Gerald's lady right here. Just like
cool.
Name. But
did y'all meet at this? Just for guys, let y'all know, Gerald is a Tarleton State University alumni, and right now we're doing this interview in the Tarleton State Radio, and so. He went to Tarleton, and he's saying that his girl went to Tarleton.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. Did y'all meet at Tarleton?
And it's funny because like we knew the same people. You know, we just, you know, mutuals and everything like that. And I feel like I would see her around campus. We actually had a couple classes together, and like I didn't even know it and everything. And so it was just one of those things. We eventually, I feel like after I graduated, it's like just one of those things where we kind of connected on like social media, just followed each other and everything like that. And then we didn't really like connect until like about a year ago. Yeah, about a year ago. Everything. And like actually like, wait, this is kind of cool. Like you're kind of a cool individual. Yeah. Everything. And so yeah, we kind of hit it off.
That's pretty cool, man. Yeah. That's pretty cool. And she's doing like today she's doing media for the group. So there you go. Mm-hmm. Adding another member to the team, low key. Mm-hmm. What about you, man?
Same here. I do have a woman myself. You know, we've been together for almost half a year now. Cool. And yeah, it goes back on the thing of just like, man, whew, goodness gracious, it was a hard battle between lust and love, you know, like for so long I was alone, you know, she was seeing into with they ladies and stuff. It was like, dang. But at the same time, you know, it's just like, you know, we're searching for something more than just the now, you know, more than just, you know, I feel like too many people are just searching for pleasure and living life in vain. And I was like, you know, man, I was like it's not worth it to, you know, only search for something that I'm gonna have for like a month or 2 months. It's like that's not
for sure, not
physically healthy, not mentally healthy.
And I bet that does help in y'all's music.
Oh yeah, no, having those ladies in their lives, the motivation, the inspiration, the way we're able to help each other grow in our own worlds, because we all do very different things. Like my girl is a physical therapist getting her doctorate at USC. Like she ain't anywhere near the music world, you know, but the way we're able to support each other and love each other through all we do is what helps fuel so much, you know.
Yeah, big time. Like just having that special someone in your corner that's like constantly motivating you, and like also being honest too, because like you don't want a yes man in your corner and everything. A lot of people be like, yeah, they want people that's gonna say yes and agree with everything that you do. No, I don't. We feel like we're all that way. We don't want nobody just to like just go what we want to do. We want people who's gonna be honest with us and like genuine with us and like let us know, okay, yes, this was good, but it can be better in this way. Someone who's going to really help you grow and everything. And so that's one of those good things that you can find that in a partner and everything. And so that's truly a blessing.
Yeah. And, you know, we're going to shift into a different type of love. I saw a clip of you and your brother showing your parents your music.
When I'm with you, I'll always give you the best half of me. Feeding your desires, your fantasies.
And that was really, really cool. So I'm just going to assume that your parents really support you guys on y'all's music journey. Could we dive into that? Like, was it always like that with family? Did they not support you at first? Because I feel like it's a common thing for parents to kind of think it's crazy to pursue music.
I'll say luckily our two parents in the home are very supportive. They're like, man, whatever y'all do, we feel like y'all can do it, so do baby. Now of course the extended family outside of that, there's the people like, well, make sure you do this, man. Of course they see it now and they're like, oh my goodness. But before there was a little bit of pushback, like, well, make sure y'all do this. It's like, no, we know what we're doing. But our parents, them two are really supportive in everything. They honest too if they don't like something, if they like the music. Most of the time they like it, so we're like, okay, bet. But our mother actually was also in a music group in the 90s called ADT. Okay. They, of course, she left it for personal reasons and didn't want to do that, but they toured all over the U.S. and
Hey boy, I wanna get with you. You're so smooth. I like your style. Hey baby, can I be with you tonight?
Did all types of stuff. Like I sometimes forget that she did that because she never talks about it. But I'm like, dude, you were at the level we're trying to reach. Like I was like, that's crazy. But they're super supportive, like super supportive.
Cool.
Yeah, it really does help just because, you know, I vividly remember this one time going to my mom. It was it was right when COVID hit, and I was in college at TSTC doing avionics, and I was just like, I don't want to do this no more, and just because I was like, the world is crazy right now. I was like, I'm playing, started playing guitar in 2019. I was like, I love playing music. I saw a show right before COVID happened, like January, and I was like, I saw one of my favorite artists in Waco, and I was able to talk to him, and I was like, man, I need to just get out my comfort zone. So I was like, I just need to get out my comfort zone. So I went downstairs and was like, would you be mad at me if I dropped out of college? And she was like, if you feel like this is the right thing to do, go ahead and do it. It's like I believe in you. It's like, I'm not gonna make you do anything. And I was like, she was like, you, of course, me and your father have raised you guys correctly. We believe that anything you guys do, you gotta make sure that you are doing the correct thing, as long as you stay in work, of course. Yeah. Come on now.
As long as you paying them bills.
Yeah.
And what about you, Gerald? I feel like you're that, like, they're brothers. I feel like you're like that lone wolf that came into the pack. You know what I mean?
Nah, and it's funny because like they really accepted me open arms. I feel like basically we family at this point. They like my second family, and
second.
But yeah, but now my family, they've been supportive, like my church family, all that too, because I really started playing the saxophone, of course, in middle school. But then like when I really started to perform, I guess live by myself, was actually in church and everything. And so the church, my church has always been supportive of me playing the saxophone, and then as well as my parents. But I guess whenever it comes to like pursuing music, it's like, I feel like, I know, at least for my mom, like they don't fully understand today's music business and everything like that. My mom's like, if somebody big comes and see you, if Beyonce comes and see you, then y'all gonna make it. All you need somebody to pick you up.
Yeah, that's what my dad says too.
Yeah, and it's like that. I get what you're saying, but that's just not how the industry is today. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot more effort and work that we got to put in today to make it than like, especially like back in the day, because back then it was different. You had radio stations. If you can get on the radio, then
that was it.
You made it basically.
Yeah.
And then you signed to a record label. Then you just performing and everything. And that's how it was done back then. But now today's time, we have social media, and a lot of it's done, indie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all solo, and so we promote. We gotta create the songs. We produce. We help. We write them and everything. We reach out and for promo, for PR and all that. And so that's something that they don't necessarily fully understand, how much work that we have to do. It's not necessarily, getting signed like that. But outside of that, they have been like really supportive, and even like some of my friends. I know Reese. I was just had me thinking something because he was saying something about some people like, make sure you do this, because I graduated from here. And one of my friends, he's basically like my brother. He's like a lawyer now up in Oklahoma. But I know when I was telling them about, because I was pursuing my master's here, I was like early 2019. But then I was like I don't know, like middle of semester. I was going through it, and I was like, I don't see myself doing anything with this degree. So I just ended up dropping out from that and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily I still have my bachelor's and everything, so I still able to do something with that. But I was like, man, I told my homie, I was like, yeah, bro, I done dropped out and everything. And he was like, man, I told him I was going to pursue like content creation, because at that time, it's like I said, I'm making skits and stuff like that. Yeah. And so he was like, well, just make sure, if he gave me like a whole timeline, he's like, hey, bro, if you ain't where you need to be in this time frame, then you have to do something with this degree and everything. I took that to heart. So like, I think I was still pursuing content creation. Then I got into open mics and stuff like that, and eventually I used a degree and everything to help basically fund help fund the music and everything. But some of those people, man, I do appreciate him. I really do, because of that, it really motivated me to like really get on my horse and like get going and everything, like really like lock into this. And he been showing so much love ever since then. But no, it's one of those things, like even when they say, okay, make sure you're doing this and that, it's coming from a place of love and everything, and like that stuff that I can appreciate, because it helped me get to where I need to get to and everything.
I feel like with that skit stuff, I feel like you could still be doing something with that, you know, as a music group.
We do. Yeah, it's funny because we do, man.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool to get back
Yeah.
into that bag, the acting and everything like that.
And it's like even performing too. Like he could be cracking jokes, then playing the sax. You know what I mean? Like type deal. So, do you do that on stage? Do you be cracking jokes?
Yeah. There's points in time whenever we play certain places or play certain songs and everything. I have like a little things I like to say in between that and everything, and like it gets people laughing and everything.
Part of
So
that
I
stage
like
presence. Got to talk to the people.
Yeah,
We're
man.
comedians.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, y'all have been established. Y'all, I feel like it's fair to say you guys are established now. I saw y'all's website. I was like, oh my goodness,
Thank you. I
this is
appreciate
like an amazing website. You guys are definitely. It probably took a lot of work to get that done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it took
So
time.
Took a few hours for me, but it's done.
yeah. Let's talk about the trials and tribulations you guys had. I remember before we started this interview, you were telling me about a time where y'all didn't have a sound man and y'all had to like do it all solo dolo. Tell me about these trials and tribulations.
But I guess the most important thing to know is that the hardest thing at the beginning was not knowing where to go. We were just, like I said, we were just doing shows because we like doing music, and we thought, oh, that'll get us somewhere, which it did. It gave us opportunities. We met people, and we started trying to pursue different things. We had went to some other cities to try to figure some things out, but we still didn't really know. But it was that Black Odyssey show at Firehouse Lounge, and after we had a certain person in our life who was trying to be our manager, it didn't work out. But a lot of the things she had told us were things we needed to do, so we knew at least kind of where we needed to go. But it wasn't until we met Grace Sorensen, and she had just answered all these questions I had. And I was like, all right, y'all, we're going to put this list into action and see what happens. So the thing that I did was literally just like finding different people we wanted to meet or places we wanted to perform and kind of building a spider web. Because I saw this interconnected spider web of people all throughout Austin. It was like, how can we be a part of that web, you know? And so there were a lot of bumps in trying to do that. Like I said, we did almost, at least up from last year to this year, has probably been about 100 shows. In 2023, we did probably 50 to 60, and it was just a lot. It was a lot of running around, trying to be in the right places, be around the right people, trying to get good music out, trying to figure out how to market, how to just there was just so much. A lot of it had to do with actually learning the industry, which we've done more in 2024. But yeah, there was just a lot. That was more the broad version, so y'all can get into the detail.
Yeah, I feel like the biggest trial and tribulation is, you know, trying to do music in tandem with your life, because they do coincide a whole lot, but you know, of course, you know, you still got to go to work. You know, you got a show one night at 10 p.m. in Austin, you got to be back in Waco at work for 4 a.m. the next day. So it's like, man, you gotta, it's small things like that. Also too, like learning how to be a brand in your life, like learning how to make sure when I'm going outside that I'm representing myself highly. When I'm waking up, make sure that I at least do one thing pertaining to music a day, and either that be practicing my guitar, learning something different about the business, doing research about, you know, the history of music, you know, or the history of the music business. Trying new ways to, you know, either post on social media or just thinking about which places to try and email and which places to either like look into and which times of the year are best. And you know, that tandem with life, that's as an independent artist, it is probably the biggest trial and tribulation of just like, man, you know, it's like I still have stuff to do. I still have to, you know, be me, but I also have to make sure that I'm striving for more and also being productive. And because I heard the best quote, man, some dude was like, we all got the same amount of time as Michael Jackson in our day.
That's true.
You know, like if Michael Jackson could do what he did,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. R.I.P. But it's like, man, like it's true. We all have the same amount of time. Of course, some of us have more free time than others. But at the end of the day, it's like, man, it's the sacrifices. It's like, what kind of stuff can I lay off for now to get later? And yeah, it's really just a mental battle at the end of the day. It's just being like, let me just continue to always. And it makes it easier having these two, you know, people to hold you accountable, people to also who rely on you. It's like, it's because it's not just me, you know, but I feel like if it was just me, you know, we always can give ourselves excuses to not do something. Like, man, you know, I had to be up at 4 a.m. Like today, I had to go to work at 4 a.m. But it's like, you know, it's like that's not gonna hold me back from coming out here and doing what I really want to do. You know, it's like that we do that to do this. You know,
it's more important what you do after work, right? That's what's even more important. So I understand.
And I'll let you say your trial and tribulation.
Yeah, nah. I was gonna just to piggyback off of what you were saying, D. We basically all have 2 jobs. You know, we have our day job, our 9 to 5, and then after that, we are doing things music related, whether that's creating, whether that's writing, whether that's practicing, creating content, traveling to shows, and like that's one of the things I feel like I struggle with the most because like I'm a PE coach, and so like we have early mornings and everything. We all got early morning jobs and everything like that. And so whenever we have like shows or events, especially out of the city, like down in Austin, everything like that, that drive back is just tough. And then, you know, you make it back, safely, thank the Lord. But then it's like you get like an hour nap sometimes. I know it's been multiple times. I get like an hour 10, hour 30 nap or whatever before I got to get up and get ready for work.
Speaking of that drive, man, there was this one time it was me and Gerald driving back in his car.
Oh, Lord.
And, you know, I told him, I was like, man, you know, when you feel ready, let me know when to switch. Man, we was down the road. I was on my phone chilling, you know, because we was talking, and eventually he just stopped talking to me. So I was just like, I'm on my phone.
Oh no!
And I look over.
Nah, he's sleeping.
My boy was like,
man.
I was like, Gerald.
You probably said my fault.
But thankfully his car got the lane assist, so
that's crazy, man.
I never knew.
That's how people lose legs and die. And that's real, man. I mean, I know it's hard juggling everything in life. You know, some might even say having a girlfriend taken seriously is a full-time job. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of y'all's real life job that y'all do to support your music, you know, that's the real grind. That's what you have to do to make it in today's age. If you are independent and want all of your profits and less splits and all of that sort, right? So I know you're a PE coach, right? What do you guys do to support the music?
Mine is super musician basic. I am a barista.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, no, I do graphic design and marketing at a real estate agency. So luckily that ties into the music and helps us learn how to do that. But yeah,
I mean, some might say drinks do have a lot to do with music too.
Yeah. I mean,
it's true. There's a bar at every venue, no matter how big.
Yeah, somebody needs some coffee somewhere. Helps me when we go do them late nights, and I gotta be up at 4 a.m. First thing I do, give me a shot of espresso.
There you go.
I'm up.
Yeah. Guys, this is a group of individuals who are really putting in that work, lacking sleep, working their day job to make the music, and they're about to go on tour next year and everything. You know, it's beautiful to see people put in that work that really, really want it. Guys, before we get up out of here, we are closing down towards the end of the show. But before, I want to talk about your top 3 songs that people can listen to and think this is Smooth Nature. What are those top 3 songs?
That's easy, thankfully. We've been on our string of releases that are coming out leading up to our EP coming out around Valentine's Day. So Genuine, there's a beautiful music video to go along with that one.
Genuine.
Yes, indeed.
Feeding your desires, your fantasies, leaking slowly, flowing deeper inside, and we know that we cannot control and we don't want to know.
And then there's That Feeling of Love.
Where we heading, tension in the air getting heavy. I'll slow it down for you, hold it steady. I know you're ready, so let's go get into some things, baby.
And the one that just came out this past week is Love Stories.
I don't know, I won't pretend. I don't want this to end.
So those 3 songs give you all the flavors of us. And yeah, they're just beautiful songs about our ladies.
All right, you guys heard it best. Definitely make sure to check out Smooth Nature. It's been a pleasure having you guys. And we'll see you guys next time.
I appreciate you, bro.